Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 14 on complex functions. In previous lecture we have discussed that how to construct an analytic function whose real or imaginary part is known, and the method we had discussed is Milne-Thomson method. Okay, this is the shortcut method to construct the analytic function whose real or imaginary part is given. So today also we are going to discuss some more examples on this Milne-Thomson method. So let us start with this example. Determine an analytic function f of z equal to u plus iv whose imaginary part is vxy equal to e raised to x into x cos y minus y sin y. So as we have discussed in the last session, what we have to do is we have to use the fact that the function which we are going to construct is analytic. So it is differentiable, therefore we can write its derivative in terms of u and v, ux plus ivx. Okay, so I am just revising the idea of the method. The function which we are going to construct is analytic function, so therefore it is differentiable, and this is the formula for derivative. Now we are given imaginary part of the function, v is given, so we will have partial derivatives of v with respect to x and y, and since function is analytic, this function f of z equal to u plus iv is analytic. So u and v will satisfy Cauchy-Riemann equations, and Cauchy-Riemann equations are del u by del x equal to del v by del y, and del u by del y is minus del v by del x. So we can replace this del u by del x by this, we will replace by del v by del y. We will use this equation. Okay, so this is going to be replaced by del v by del y. So f dash z will be del v by del y plus I into del v by del x. So we have this function v, so we can easily find out its partial derivatives, and then we will substitute partial derivatives of v in this right hand side. So right hand side will be function of x and y, because v is function of x and y. So after putting values of del v by del y and del v by del x here, we will replace x by z and y by 0. So if we replace x by z and y by 0 in this right hand side, we will obtain f dash z as a function of z. So that f dash z, whatever f dash z we will obtain as a function of z. So after integrating that function, we will obtain our analytic function f of z. Okay, so this is the just revision of Milne-Thomson method. We consider this one more example to understand the method. So v is given, here imaginary part is v. So function v is given, and we have to find out f of z equal to u plus iv. So first I require partial derivatives of v with respect to x and y. So if we differentiate v with respect to x, you can see this is a product of two functions of x. This we can consider as one function, this is another function. Okay, so in this function also we have x. So this is function of x, this is another function of x. So we have to apply product rule. So first we keep this function as it is, x cos y minus y sin y as it is, and derivative of e raised to x is e raised to x. Then we consider e raised to x as it is, and derivative of this part is cos y, because y is constant, so cos y, as it is derivative of x is 1 and derivative of y sin y with respect to x is 0. So e raised to x as it is into cos y. Now if I want to differentiate v partially with respect to y, then I will consider e raised to x as constant, and here also x is constant and derivative of cos y is minus sin y. So derivative of x cos y with respect to y is minus x sin y. Now here we have product of y and sin y. So here again I have to apply product rule. So I consider y as constant. Okay, this is negative sign as it is. Y as constant, derivative of sin y is cos y, and sin y constant, derivative of y is 1. And so we keep this as it is. We will simplify if necessary, otherwise we keep this as it is. Now we use the fact that f of z is analytic, therefore f of z is differentiable, therefore we can write its derivative as f dash z equal to del u by del x plus I into del v by del x. Now here u is not given, v is given, so we can replace this partial derivative of u by partial derivative of v using Cauchy-Riemann equations. Because f of z is analytic, so u and v will satisfy Cauchy-Riemann equations. So we are using this Cauchy-Riemann equation, del u by del x equal to del v by del y. So this we replace by del v by del y. So now right hand side is known to us. So we will put x equal to z and y equal to 0 in this right hand side. So we have to find out value of del v by del y at x equal to z, y equal to 0. And similarly we have to write value of del v by del x at x equal to z and y equal to 0. Now we have del v by del y here. So here we have to put x equal to z and y equal to 0. So this is going to be e raised to z. And if I put y equal to 0, this is going to be 0 because sin 0 is 0. Here y is in the product, so this is also going to be 0. And sin y is also 0. So if I put x equal to z and y equal to 0, I will obtain del v by del y equal to 0. Okay, so this is going to be e raised to z into 0, that is 0. So value of del v by del y at x equal to z and y equal to 0 is 0. Now we check value of del v by del x at x equal to z and y equal to 0. Okay, so if I put x equal to z and y equal to 0, then here I put x equal to z, so it is e raised to z, and I have to put y equal to 0. So this is going to be x is z and cos 0 is 1, so it is z into 1, that is z. Now because we have taken y equal to 0, this is going to be 0, so it is e raised to z into z plus e raised to z into cos 0, that is 1. So it is going to be e raised to z into z plus 1. Value of del v by del x at x equal to z and y equal to 0. So that I have written here. And finally we obtained f dash z as a function of z. It is I into z plus 1 into e raised to z. So to obtain f of z, we know that this is analytic function. It is analytic everywhere. This function is product of polynomial and exponential function. So product of two analytic functions is also analytic. So we can integrate it directly using integration by parts. So we consider z plus 1 as it is. Integral of e raised to z is e raised to z, and minus derivative of z plus 1, which is 1, into integral of e raised to z, that is e raised to z, and plus constant of integration. So if you take e raised to z common, you will have z plus 1 minus 1, that is z into e raised to z. Okay, if you simplify this step, it is I into e raised to z into z plus 1 minus 1. So this is nothing but I into z into e raised to z plus c, and where c is arbitrary constant, and this is our required analytic function whose imaginary part v is given. Okay, so I hope it is easy to understand. We consider one more example. Suppose we are given difference of u and v. Difference of real and imaginary part is given, and we have to find the analytic function f of z equal to u plus iv. So what we can do is we find out partial derivatives of this equation with respect to x and y, and then we will use the fact that f of z is analytic function. So first we differentiate this equation partially with respect to x and y. So partial derivative with respect to x is, okay, if you differentiate this one with respect to x, partial derivative is del u by del x minus del v by del x, and here cos y minus sin y is constant because we are differentiating with respect to x. So this bracket is constant, and derivative of e raised to x is e raised to x. Similarly, partial derivative with respect to y is del u by del y minus del v by del y equal to, now we are differentiating with respect to y, so e raised to x is constant, and derivative of cos y is minus sin y, and derivative of sin y is cos y. Now here in equation 1, in equation 2, partial derivatives are ux and vx, and here partial derivatives are uy and vy. So we will use Cauchy-Riemann equations because f of z is analytic. U and v will satisfy Cauchy-Riemann equations. So Cauchy-Riemann equations are ux equal to vy and uy equal to minus vx. So we replace del u by del y by minus del v by del x, and we replace vy by del u by del x. Okay, because f of z is analytic, so u and v will satisfy Cauchy-Riemann equations. And here we take negative sign outside, so it is minus e raised to x sin y plus cos y, and if we cancel out negative sign on both sides, we obtain ux plus vx equal to e raised to x sin y plus cos y. Now in equation 2 we consider ux and vx as variables and we solve them. So first we take addition of equation 2 and 3. So you can see addition of left hand side will be 2 times del u by del x. This del v by del x will cancel out, and here we can take e raised to x common. So sin y will cancel out and we will have 2 cos y. So 2 into del u by del x is e raised to x into 2 cos y. 2 is non-zero, so we will obtain ux equal to e raised to x into cos y. So this is the value of del u by del x. Now again we come to here equation 2 and 3. Now if we add, instead of adding, if we subtract 2 and 3, if we take 2 minus 3, then you can see if I consider subtraction of left hand sides, then ux will cancel out and this is going to be minus vx, So it is going to be minus 2 times del v by del x. Similarly, if we subtract right hand sides, e raised to x is going to be common, and cos y minus cos y will cancel out, and this is minus sin y, so it is going to be minus 2 sin y, and we can cancel out minus 2, so we obtain del v by del x equal to e raised to x into sin y. Okay, so now once we have ux and vx, we can write down f dash z. Because f of z is analytic, we have this formula, f dash z is ux plus ivx. Now del u by del x is e raised to x cos y, and del v by del x is e raised to x sin y. So it is e raised to x cos y plus I into e raised to x sin y. Now in the right hand side, we replace x by z and y by 0. So if I put x equal to z here, I will obtain e raised to z into cos 0, that is 1, and sin 0 is 0. So f dash z is e raised to z, and it is analytic at every point. So if we integrate, we obtain f of z equal to e raised to z plus c, where c is arbitrary constant, not function. It is a mistake here. C is arbitrary constant. Now if you don't want to go in this way, we have some alternative method also that we discuss with this. This is another way to write down the analytic function f of z equal to u plus iv if u minus v is given. We consider another method for the same problem. Okay, so what this method is, f of z is given to be u plus iv. So you multiply f of z by I. So if I multiply by I, then I will obtain I into f of z equal to I into u plus I square into v. And if we put I square equal to minus 1, we will have f of z, I into f of z equal to I into u minus v. Now we add these two equations, f of z equal to this and I into f of z equal to this. So if we add left hand sides, we will have f of z plus I into f of z, and f of z can be taken common, so we will have 1 plus I into f of z. Similarly, if we add these two, we will have u minus v and plus I into, if we take I common, we will have I into u plus v. So we can see here u minus v is real part of this function and u plus v is imaginary part of this function. So we assume this function as some another function of z. Suppose it is denoted by g of z. Suppose this is denoted by capital U. Capital U is u minus v. And suppose this is denoted by capital V. So what we obtain? We obtain g of z equal to capital U plus I into capital V, where we can write that g of z is 1 plus I into f of z, capital U is u minus v and capital V is u plus v. Now g of z is u plus iv, where capital U is u minus v and u minus v is given to us in the problem. It is e raised to x into cos y minus sin y. So we obtain capital U equal to e raised to x cos y minus sin y. And if we differentiate with respect to x, we obtain e raised to x as it is, and derivative is e raised to x into cos y minus sin y, and del u by del x is this cos y minus sin y is constant because derivative is with respect to x, so we consider y as constant. So cos y minus sin y is constant and derivative of e raised to x is e raised to x. Similarly, if we differentiate u with respect to y, capital del u by del y is e raised to x is constant, derivative of cos y is minus sin y, and derivative of sin y is minus cos y. And we can take this negative sign outside, so we obtain minus e raised to x sin y plus cos y. So we obtain partial derivatives of capital U with respect to x and y. Now capital U is real part of g of z, and we know this partial derivatives of capital U. Also it is given that f of z is analytic, so if we multiply f of z by some constant multiple, then also it is analytic. So that means g of z equal to 1 plus I into f of z is also analytic. Therefore it is differentiable, and therefore we can write the formula for g dash z. It is ux plus ivx. Now again g of z equal to 1 plus I into f of z, and it is nothing but u plus iv. So g of z equal to u plus iv is analytic. So u and v will satisfy Cauchy-Riemann equations. Capital U and capital V will satisfy Cauchy-Riemann equations. So here we don't have this value, so we replace del u by del x by minus I into del u by del y using this equation. So now left hand side has partial derivatives of capital U with respect to x and y. So that we have del u by del x is e raised to x cos y minus sin y, and minus I del u by del y is negative, so minus minus will be plus, and it is e raised to x into sin y plus cos y. So now g dash z is expressed as a function of x and y. So using the idea of Milne and Thomson, we put x equal to z, y equal to 0 everywhere in right hand side, and we obtain g dash z equal to, here x is replaced by z, so e raised to z, y is 0, so this is cos 0 1 minus sin 0 is 0, so it is e raised to z, plus I into e raised to z, y is 0, so sin 0 is 0, and cos 0 is 1, so it is 1 plus I into e raised to z. So g dash z is in terms of function of z, so we integrate g of z with respect to z, and we obtain g of z equal to 1 plus I constant, derivative of e raised to z is e raised to z, and plus some arbitrary constant, say c dash. Now we replace g of z by original function. G of z is 1 plus I into f of z. So g of z is replaced by 1 plus I into f of z, and we keep this as it is 1 plus I into e raised to z plus c dash. And if we want to require f of z, we will divide this equation by 1 plus I. So finally we have f of z equal to e raised to z, 1 plus I will cancel out, plus c, where c equal to c dash upon 1 plus I. So in this way we can find out the analytic function. This is also example like that, this example which we just did. It is similar to this example, so I am not doing that, and I hope that you have understood this lecture. If you like it, please write comment in the comment menu. Thank you very much.